contest chair, distinguished guests, fellow Toastmasters, not what it seemed to be. You probably don't go back to the time when the phone was popular, but not what it seems to be can be applied to slices in life. It was a Saturday morning, early Saturday morning, and I had this revolting sound. Now, many times when the alarm system, I went out and triggered the alarm, but this is worse. Now, I jumped out of bed. Now, me jumping out of bed is not a pretty sight. I'm not real coordinated. I didn't smell smoke. I looked around. My mentally challenged cat was at my side. But after a while, Rosie started making this blood-curdling sound. I went to the garage. I pulled down the stairway to the attic. There was no fire. It seemed appropriate to go to the panel box and do some paneling with buttons to turn off the sound. I kept doing that for 3 or 4 minutes and it didn't work. But I was told if there's an emergency, you go from the top to the bottom in the middle and you get response from the monitor. I did that, and sure enough, a woman by the name of Eleanor called. She said, "What's your problem?" I said, "I'm going nuts. It's been about 15 minutes in this, between the cat," and she let me know I can do nothing about your cat, but maybe about the alarm. She says, "I see you have a smoke alarm in the dining room. You go to the head of the class." I didn't want to call there to have where the location of the instrument was. I wanted to turn it off. I've got all these different things. Nothing worked. Nothing worked. She says, "I'll tell you what I'm going to do. I'll transfer you to the technical section." Technical section. Audrey's at the technical section. She said, "What's your problem?" I said, "Audrey, I did all the recipes on the panel, and I have the walk around phone. You hear?" "Oh, yes, I hear it." She says, "Do you have a ladder?" I said, "I have a sort of a step stool ladder." So I get that, and it's wobbly, and I'm not dainty. And she says, "Reach up," and what does it say on the smoke alarm? It says, "Do not paint." Then she says, "Put your hands and try to turn it." I says, "Audrey, why am I doing this?" She says, "To see if the battery was dead." Have you ever felt that you've been on a fool's errand? Right then, I knew I was on a fool's errand, because we've had that security system for 20 years. The battery pack is in the garage. I says to Audrey, how long have you been in the technical department?" She says, "I'm not in the technical department. You have a device around your neck. I'm in a companion company." Wait. Each and every one of us, sometime in our life, we've had a relationship or something where someone wanted to get rid of us. Eleanor wanted to get rid of me. This is not technical. Audrey was a very kind and gentle human being. She says, "Mr. Griffin, it doesn't show anything on our screen." I said, "Could it be that the feed on the screen was faulty? Who am I to give diagnosis about a computer or internet when we change providers of the internet?" And the man asked me, "Go to your home page And I had to say, "What is the home page?" The young man gasped. I said, Audrey, you work for a bindlestick. She says, "Mr. Griffin, would you define what a bindlestick is?" I feel inadequate. I must write an incident report, and I feel inadequate. Now, I didn't want her to be nice. I've got other insults. I've already know that I'm unwanted. Eleanor tossed me off to her. Now she wants me to define what my criticism is. I says, "And how can you be sarcastic to a genuinely kind person?" I says, "Audrey, in days gone by, there was hobos. That is a man who lived off of the land, rode freight trains, and kept his belongings in a knapsack. There was a stick on his shoulder. He carried the knapsack. The stick is the bindlestick." She says, "I reported this. You may have a chart in the machine or your operation. Monday they'll be out." The next morning, my daughter came down. She has never called me Jack Warren Griffin. She was carrying the wedge radio around. Our housekeeper has accidentally triggered the clock radio, and it was a wedge radio that was all. Jennifer put tape and tape and tape so it'll never go again. When you make a fool of yourself, you turn the page and you hope tomorrows are better than your yesterdays. Mr. Contest.